This is a copy of the letter Jeremiah sent to those about to be taken as captives to Babylon by the Babylonian king. It contains the message God commanded him to give them. Because of the sins you have committed before God, King Nebuchadnezzar is taking you away to Babylon as prisoners. Once you arrive in Babylon, you will remain there for many years, for a long season lasting 7 generations. After that time, I will bring you away from there in peace. While in Babylon, you will see gods made of silver, gold, and wood being carried on people's shoulders. These statues cause the nations to fear them. Be careful that you do not become like these strangers. Do not be intimidated by them when you see the crowds in front of them and behind them, worshipping them. Instead, say in your hearts, "O Lord, it is you we must worship. For my angel is with you, and I am watching over your souls." As for these idols, their tongues are polished by a workman. They are gilded and overlaid with silver, yet they are fakes and cannot speak. People take gold as if for a woman who loves to dress up, and make crowns for the heads of their gods. Sometimes the priests steal gold and silver from their own gods to spend on themselves. They even give it to prostitutes, and they dress these gods of silver, gold, and wood in human clothes. Still, these gods cannot save themselves from rust or moths, even though they are covered in expensive purple robes. The priests have to wipe the dust off the idols' faces because the temple is so thick with it. One idol holds a scepter like a judge of the land, yet he cannot kill anyone who offends him. Another holds a dagger and an axe in his right hand, but he cannot defend himself against war or thieves. This proves they are not gods, therefore do not fear them. An idol is as worthless as a broken plate. When they are set up in the temple, their eyes get filled with dust from the feet of those who walk in. Just as doors are locked on every side against a man who has offended the king and is waiting for death, the priests secure their temples with doors, locks, and bars to keep their gods from being looted by robbers. The priests light candles for them, more than they light for themselves, but the idols cannot see a single one. They are like the wooden beams of the temple. People say their hearts are being eaten by bugs crawling out of the earth, yet the idols don't feel a thing when the bugs eat them and their clothes. Their faces are blackened by the smoke of the temple. Bats, swallows, and other birds sit on their heads, even cats. By this you may know they are no gods, therefore do not fear them. Despite the gold used to make them beautiful, they will not shine unless someone wipes off the rust. They didn't feel a thing even when they were being melted and cast. These things were bought at a high price, yet there is no breath in them. Since they have no feet, they must be carried on shoulders, showing everyone how worthless they are. Even those who serve them should be ashamed. If an idol falls to the ground, it cannot get up by itself. If someone sets it upright, it cannot move. If it is tilted, it cannot straighten itself. People set gifts before them as if they were dead men. The priests sell off the sacrifices and abuse the prophets. Their wives salt the meat for themselves and give nothing to the poor or the weak. Even women who are ritually unclean handle their sacrifices. By these things you may know they are no gods. Fear them not. How can they even be called gods? Women are the ones serving meat to these gods of silver, gold, and wood. The priests sit in their temples with torn clothes, shaved heads and beards, and nothing on their heads. They roar and cry out before their gods like people at a funeral feast. The priests take the clothes off the idols to dress their own wives and children. Whether someone does something good or evil to them, these gods cannot pay them back. They can neither set up a king nor pull one down. They cannot give wealth or money. If someone makes a vow to them and fails to keep it, they won't even notice. They cannot save a person from death, nor can they deliver the weak from the powerful. They cannot restore sight to the blind or help anyone in distress. They show no mercy to the widow and do no good for the orphan. These wooden gold-plated blocks are like common stones cut from a mountain. Those who worship them will be disgraced. How could anyone think they are gods when even the Babylonians themselves dishonor them? If they see someone who cannot speak, they bring him to their god Bel and beg the statue to make him talk, as if a statue could understand. The idols are created by carpenters and goldsmiths. They are nothing more than what the workmen wanted them to be. Even the people who make them don't live forever, so how could the things they make be gods? They leave behind nothing but lies and disgrace for those who come after. When war or plague strikes, the priests huddle together to decide where they can hide with their gods. How can people not see that these are not gods, since they cannot save themselves from war or disease? Since they are made of wood and overlaid with gold and silver, it will eventually be known that they are fakes. It will be clear to every nation and king that they are not gods, but the work of human hands, with no power of God in them. They cannot bring rain to the people. They cannot judge their own cases or right a wrong. They are as useless as crows flying between heaven and earth. If a fire breaks out, the priests will flee, but the gods will burn up like wooden rafters. They cannot withstand a king or an enemy. It is better to be a king with actual power, or even a useful household pot, or a secure door, than to be one of these false gods. The sun, moon, and stars are bright and obey their orders. The lightning is easy to see, and the wind blows across every land. When God commands the clouds to pass over the world, they do as they are told. The fire sent from above to consume hills and woods does what it is commanded. But these idols have neither the appearance nor the power of these things. Since they cannot judge a case or do any good for humanity, do not think they are gods and do not fear them. They can neither curse nor bless kings. They cannot perform miracles in the sky, shine like the sun, or give light like the moon. Even wild animals are better off. At least they can run for cover and help themselves. There is zero evidence that these are gods. Therefore, do not fear them. They are as effective as a scarecrow in a garden of cucumbers. It protects nothing. They are like a thorny bush in an orchard where every bird lands, or like a corpse thrown into the dark. You will know they are not gods when the expensive purple robes rot off them and they are eventually devoured. They will be a disgrace to the whole country. Better, therefore, is the just man who has no idols, for he will be far from such disgrace.